Gentlemen, now welcome to the infamous hashtag I'm with Bozo Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Grant, the second ring leader in charge of the circus here. As you can see behind me, I have got some new living quarters to be into. We are in the circus tent. We are bringing in the next victim of the hot seat in the tent. It's a good friend of mine. We go back way back to like the Lennox Drive days.
Oh boy.
And still to this day is my good boy, Chris Rogers. What is up, my dude?
How you doing, G? How you doing, everybody?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Getting the ball back rolling here in the circus tent. You know, it's a little hard. As you can see, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff around here.
A lot of stuff
running
going
these
on.
things around.
I appreciate
making sure everybody's
invite.
trying to be on point. Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. I know this is a Friday. It's not normal podcast days, but you know, you gotta risk it for the biscuits sometimes.
Gotta please the
yep,
people.
definitely. And it will be posted tonight on YouTube.
All right.
For those of you that don't follow yet, but you're hearing it for the first time, I post these onto my YouTube. It's just it's just Grant Fussell. It's just my name. There's a couple draft party extravaganzas with the BAMF on there. There's the first episode with Eric on there. We're going to just be doing it that way. Shout out to my boy, Eric Ely. Igor basically gave me the little rundown on how he did his through teams, and it seemed to be way more efficient than what I was doing with Anchor and everything. And it was way more efficient last week. So big shout out to him, newbie in the league. Chris, going back to you, man. You know, we're friends first, obviously, before we're fantasy football foes. How's life been, man? How's Charlie doing?
Oh, life's been great. Man. Charlie's doing good. She's, like Eric said last time, growing like a weed.
Yeah, very talkative, I noticed.
Very
on Snapchat
talkative
these days.
and very sad. She wants to change the world. Cool. Love that. But the amount of sass that this little one produces is...
She gets that from you.
Yeah, she's good at it. She's
I
good
bet.
At it. But it makes me proud. She's no little chumps are gonna pull anything over on her. So
good.
So she's good. Life's been good. Work's been great. Just got a little promotion up to the management role.
Okay.
Yeah,
Give me a little bit of a rundown on that.
All right. So our GM is retiring. He's worked there for about 40 years now. He's pure German bred, so his IQ's through the roof. So he's like, I'm so smart. It takes about 3 of you guys to do what I'm doing. So he picked 3 of us for the new
hand selected, huh?
Yes. So
boy, nice.
That was cool. That was a very fun blessing, and then followed up with I got accepted into Oakland to get my MBA. So get my master's in business administration. Goes hand in hand with where I'm at now, and
yeah,
rolling.
Sick. That sounds exciting.
Yes. How have you been though? The proposal, the tat.
Yeah, yep. I've had a lot of life changes going on here in the last few months. I got engaged. Yep, it's been good. We've been planning everything. We got a date picked out. We got a venue. Our list is still getting some work done to it for people wise on my end. Got a lot of the stuff that you need to get done kind of already done. So it's been nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Fresh tat. Yeah. For those that don't know, we got a fresh little paradise sunset on the old forearm here.
I like that.
In case you're ever having a bad day, you know, you just kind of take me to paradise, baby.
It suits you.
See, it's funny. I showed it to a few people today at my work, and like, they were like, "Damn, I wouldn't think you would get anything else there. That fits you perfectly." And I was like, you know what? You're totally right. So I got it. So I saw it, and I was like, I need to get it. It's all me.
There it is.
So I heard you're quite the golfer these days. The draft party had a little golf before it, and Igor had quite the positive things to say about your golf game. I didn't believe him, but
nor should you. That's why we need to go soon.
Yeah, let's hear about it. How are you hitting them?
Yeah, no. Golf's been. I had a little more time to go this year. Rick Shields. If anybody's never golfed, not saying Rick Shields is like the ultimate teacher, but it just gives you a few tricks just to tell you in a different way of things you already know, and just kind of interpret it my own way. And the ball started going a little farther and a little straighter.
Little different, yeah, a little different trajectory, a little farther.
Go
okay.
2 feet in front of me, they rolled to the hole. So it was a good time. That I would highly recommend anybody next year.
What course did you guys play?
It was
Obviously, I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was by Eric's house. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. I've played.
So he's in Fenton, isn't he? I know there's like a Fenton Farms up there. I'll have to get with him and see if that was it, because I played there a few times.
It's right off the freeway.
Coyote Preserve is up there, and Fenton Farms, I think, is right there. So
yeah, it might have been Fenton Farms.
Speaking of cities that start with an F, how's the old Ferndale doing? I recently moved out there, or what?
Yeah, it's fun, man. I like the upgrade to like you can't see it, but like I have a sun porch now, so
okay,
smoke out there, hit my cigars, have
nice,
my little whiskey out there I have a basement now, so it's been the garage is a little smaller, but between the basement and the sun porch, it's definitely made up for it. So no complaints here, and close to Charlie's school.
Yeah, that's obviously a huge thing too. Yeah. What grade is she in? She's preschool, kindergarten?
Preschool 4. She starts kindergarten. She loves school, bro. She drop her off.
She loves to talk. Yeah, I'm ready to go hang out with my friends.
Look, that's why it was like daycare. She was like clinging on to me, like I don't want to be here. I don't learn anything. This is blah. Then she goes to Shrine, and she's like, I love everyone. Yeah. She's just like, I just want to learn. I want this.
Dad, go away.
Yeah. So it's been cool.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, she's very interactive, as she always really has been ever since she's been born. I feel like.
Yeah.
Tight. Well, it's good to hear that everything's going well, man. Now let's get down to the meat and the potatoes of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get down to the fantasy football end. Okay. First and foremost, I need to revamp the pre thing here, because I need to put in our thinking to the three keepers. I guess I did. So as you guys know, we change the rules every year / sometimes week to week with Eric running the show. But we changed some things. We upped it to 3 keepers. We upped the second IR spot, and we did a little tinkering with the defense points and kicker points, and nothing too crazy on that. The 3 keepers thing is the main thing that I want to touch on with everybody for this year, because it's obviously the biggest change in my eyes to what we've been doing, because it's only been 2, and it puts a whole nother element to the onion of what our fantasy football team is. And I kind of want to just get your thoughts off season, moving into the draft, of what you were going to do and what you had to do to keep who you kept. If you had any issues with, I want to keep this person that I drafted first, but if I want to keep this guy and I keep him, he's my first round pick. Like, do I got to pick between the two? Give me a little bit of rundown on what it went through for the Brady bunch in the offseason.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thankfully for me this year, I almost had a harder time last year with the 2 keepers, because I kept wanting to keep the same people.
Right. Yeah.
Last year I didn't. So like every keeper that I kept again didn't bump up to my first pick. So that was huge for one.
See, I've had that issue for the last 2 years.
Right. So I was like, so my 3 I'll start with the keepers. I had Brady, Diggs, and Eckler were my keepers. Eckler was obviously pretty easy to say I wanted to keep once I realized I had the 7th pick in the first. So
see, that's also a thing too. Should we send our keepers in before I do the draft order, don't we? I think we do. If we don't, we should. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good little topic. Maybe that'll be the new thing we talk about this year. But I think maybe you should be able to know where you're drafting to set your keepers, because it's going to set your draft up based on your draft position of who you're going to keep.
And that's the advantage. If we're going to keep 3, you might as well know where you're at.
You might as well know where you're going to be going into the next one. That could be a nice little topic of discussion. So
that helped. That helped with the Eckler pick. That was no brainer. For the first round. And Diggs, I knew he was going to go off, so that was kind of a no-brainer as well. And I knew I could keep him in the 2nd round.
Okay, I was going to say, he's always had to be. Did you take Eckler first round last year?
Yes, but I believe later in the draft. So it was just my first.
It was your first round pick, but like 10 or 11 or something.
Yeah, something
okay,
like
so
that.
so you didn't really have any issue of debating.
No, so those two were easy. It was the
Yeah.
Brady situation of where how do you not keep him after what he did last year?
Yeah.
Type deal, because I did draft him super low as well. So the value was still there, even if
There.
he doesn't do what he did last year, the value's there.
Who was the other one debating between him, Tom, and who?
It was, I forgot exactly. It was a wideout that it was like, it would have been maybe a breakout. He hasn't. Whoever it was, I know it wasn't. And
it's hard to find that info.
Yeah, so yeah, I can't find it. But so it wasn't very difficult, even though I waited till like one of the last days. I think you and I were the last two to turn them in.
Yeah, I was the last one.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do, man. Like, I can't wait for my episode. It's gonna like my off season was insane.
Yeah. So it was kind of the way game the Eckler with awesome excellence. I figured that was a no brain. Same with
yeah.
those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I wanted to keep a quarterback because this is a 2-quarterback league. That's really the other half of it. Because last year I had Brady and Garoppolo. Garoppolo was supposed to, was whatever. And this year, not
solid.
Starter.
He's solid. Right.
Yeah. So it was like, do I keep Brady or Garoppolo?
Hard to not keep him when he's not the starter.
Yeah.
But we didn't really. I guess even that was probably even harder for you because we didn't know he wasn't the starter until like the end of training camp. And keepers were way due before that.
I was like waiting because Garoppolo I drafted way late. Even
that
would have been a fine keeper as well.
Well, then he went for $71 in free agency, so you lucked out there.
Yeah, and I was gonna go after him. I was like, I guarantee you, somebody's gonna drop more than I'm willing to, and 70 was a hefty number. But
that's funny because they always send that. I can't ever see that on like who bids on what.
Yeah, you have to like
on my app. Maybe you gotta like look on it on your computer. Maybe I don't know.
But if you need somebody,
I'll talk to Corey or whoever that is that sends it in. Right?
You overpay for him because you want him. That's part of it.
He must be struggling with quarterbacks. I mean, yeah, of course he is. He just traded Tua.
Yeah, we'll get to that, right?
We will. Sorry, we'll bring that up, which is something I forgot to bring up on Eric's episode. Which I actually have two things that we're gonna do that we didn't do on Eric's podcast, which I will still update the list. But yeah, we'll get to that. So okay, obviously you got your keeper set. You're ready to rock. You know what you're gonna do. Well, you got an idea of what you're gonna do. You don't actually have an actual pick until the third round, just like me.
Correct.
So we're sitting here watching the draft go through, blah, blah, blah. We're watching all the running backs get taken. Give me the old mindset of the GM of the Brady Bunch on draft day. What's going on? I know you were a little tuned, you said.
Draft day started with, I had a plan. I had people in mind I wanted, and I had golf. So the golf led to the beers, and then that led to more drinking back at the house. So the beginning of the draft, like to around 3, 4, whatever, and then towards the middle is where it got a little hazy. We went back-to-back tight ends. That's how hazy we got.
The old Dalton Schultz, Dallas Goedert, back-to-back 6th, 7th round picks. Not bad. Hopefully the bye weeks aren't the same.
I mean, total clog. You can only start one of them. So that was my real downfall where I could have got value at probably a decent wideout.
Yeah, 6 and 7. Yeah, you could have either got another wideout because you took Allen Robinson before that.
And my whole mindset was to go young this year. I learned that actually from you. I want the next Jefferson. I needed a running quarterback. I don't have one. I have Brady and I have Mills starting this week. Trubisky. So I was like, so.
Well, how many did Trubisky get?
So I got Burks and I have Olave. Hopefully one of them pop off with Allen Robinson and Diggs, and we do have Julio.
Treylon Burks. I love that pick. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good.
Both my leagues.
It's funny because he was somebody that I was targeting late as well. And just for value for moving forward, maybe if he does really good this year, keeper potentially down the road, like Jamar Chase was last year.
Burks, who knows what Thomas was going to do? I could keep both of them next year. I'm obviously not keeping Diggs. So I don't want him to go up to the first. Well, if he does what he did last week, which we will get to.
Oh, yes, we will.
That might be staying on the team.
So your first pick, it's funny. Obviously, I think it was, 1 and then 2 comes back and 3, third round. fucking 6th pick. I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, do I take Nick Chubb? Do I take J.K. Dobbins? Do I take Nick Chubb? Do I take J.K. Dobbins? What steered me away from Nick Chubb, which I don't freaking know why, because I got Nick Chubb in a trade. Sorry, Corey, I'm talking about my other league. I got Nick Chubb in a trade last year when me and Lee Wright were literally the bottom 2 in our league that we were in. I think we were 0-2 or 0-4 or something like that. We did a trade. It was like Nick Chubb, and he gave me Nick Chubb and another quarterback that was like, I forgot who it was. And I traded him Josh Allen and a running back that was he ended up winning the league. I ended up getting 3rd.
Ooh.
So I should have
had a little bias
like,
in there.
I should have been like, damn, Nick Chubb took me to 3rd place last year in my other league, but it wasn't really Nick Chubb that did it. It was my other players that I had on my team. I should have actually kept, I think, Josh Allen, and I probably would have won. But, I mean, hindsight's 20/20. So I was kind of steered away from him with a new quarterback coming in and blah, blah, blah. But then, like, my thinking, I think, was actually wrong again, because with a new quarterback coming in, you're going to rely on your ground game a lot more. So he's probably going to get a lot more touches, and he's probably
I mean,
which I should have probably taken him, and whatever, I didn't. So then I knew as soon as, it's funny, I knew your keepers, and I was like, well, fuck, he's going to fucking take him right out, and sure enough.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that came to me. That is one I was like, thank you, because Dobbins I liked, but I wasn't sold on. Chubb, no, he's not a pass catcher, but this, like, his production is never below 10.
Right.
10 fantasy points. So I'm
right,
like,
and he's gonna get at least 10 to 12 touches, 15 touches a game. Even if he's splitting time, he's still gonna get his,
that
he's
would
gonna get
so
catches.
perfect of what I thought Eckler was going to be this year, which,
I mean, he's been okay. Eckler's definitely been good.
Yeah,
I mean, he hasn't been fucking, I guess, 1st round pick good, maybe getting 20 plus every week, but I mean, he's close.
Yeah,
it's still early.
And really, what player is going to do that besides quarterbacks get you 20 plus?
Yeah, right.
They're going to have their off weeks, unless you're Derrick Henry. He kind of went off. Used to go off. I have him in another league. Sorry, Corey. And I just heard that it snowed, so I'm hoping that kind of turns around, because I'm 0-2 in that league.
So we are looking at your previous matchups. So where we're at, you've already had 2. You're into your 3rd one. Looking into week 1. Okay, we're done with the draft. You drafted your team. You're ready to rock. Give me if we had any roster decisions late. Obviously, you didn't have Trubisky in your draft, but he's in your starting lineup for week 1. Like, give me a little bit of what went through with your week 1 matchup. Obviously, it was against me.
Yes.
I was obviously like, oh, of course, me and Chris are playing each other again in the first 2-3 weeks.
That's how I felt, because I always lose to you. They're fun and they're close, and we're like texting and shit, but like I always lose to you, and it's like, doesn't matter.
It is weird.
Projected to win or lose, I always lose to you. So
you were projected to beat me 160 to 143.
And I ended up losing by almost 30.
Almost 30.
Yeah. So now I'm kind of like, oh shit. All right. This Brady thing is like, this Brady thing's the thing.
I mean, yeah.
Allen Robinson had only I don't even know.
He had 1 catch for 12 yards.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, like
they also lost 31-10. So like,
at this point, I'm like, shit. All right. I need to try to make some trades. I have these 2 tight ends. Like, nobody has tight ends. Like, I need to try to do something with one of these 2. Sent out a few trades, nothing. Nobody wants them. That's fine. I'll deal with that.
I didn't get no offers.
Oh, you want an offer, huh?
I mean, I got Mike Gesicki. I was very skeptical against him after week 1 when he got 1 point.
And you had a negative 1 point, and you still won.
But the next week after that, he went off for 14. So it's like, that's what
you had Jefferson and Chase. So week 1, I was like, I know your wideouts are like elite. Heavy. Yeah, so I was
elite.
Like, So I'm just watching the game, and I'm like, oh, Jefferson again. Oh, Jefferson. I'm like, this is getting away from me.
Oh, it started right in the beginning too.
Yeah.
I saw it too. I was like, oh my gosh, Jefferson. Oh, Jefferson. Oh.
Yeah. So, and their new scheme is sweet. I mean, move them around and get them open. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Right.
So that was week 1, and I already texted you before it was over.
Also, though, in your week 1, I mean, you can't be too disappointed with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double-digit performances. You cannot be upset about that. That is not a bad thing.
No,
you only had one person get single digits.
Yeah, and that was but that was my biggest scare, was it being Robinson. I was like, well, I have Julio. The rookies, I don't know anything about them yet. I can't just put them in on week 1.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like you could have put. Yeah, I wouldn't have put anybody other than who you had in.
Yeah, so it was, let's set it and run it.
Let me see here. Where's the total league? There it is. So you would have beat 2 other people that week. So okay, you're solid. Put up an okay solid amount in week 1.
It was okay.
Not what you were looking for coming out of the gate. Moving to week 2, you had a matchup against the old Cuddy Sark.
The Cuddy.
Also projected to lose. This one a little closer, only a 3-point difference this time. Obviously you ran Trubisky out again. Give me a little bit of thinking here. It's kind of the same thing. You gave Olave the start this time.
Yeah, so Olave was like, he produced on the game before. So I was like, okay, I feel and Julio was hurt. So it start one of the rookies, Burks or Olave. Take my pick.
Makes sense. Yeah, take your pick.
So,
yeah.
So that was kind of just choosing between those two was hard, because I do like Burks more, but the offense is not set up to have him as the AJ Brown yet. So it just, I thought against it, and I didn't know what Michael Thomas.
Yeah, it's weird with him, dude. It's weird with him.
It is. So like Olave, I was like, I'm solid,
Right.
It'll be good. So we threw him in. And actually this week started, I'm losing. So I have Chubb has 32 points. And like my kickers are doing good. My kicker has 15 points. Trubisky throws up 13. Eckler has 18. I'm like, okay, but I'm still losing.
Serviceable.
I'm watching the Lions game, and I'm watching St. Brown. Yes, that's I can't. I'm like, bro, not again. I'm watching me lose again. So I'm like, shit. And so I'm like, Cuddy Sark. Then it comes to Monday night. He still has Henry and maybe Henry. Who did Henry play? Tennessee and Buffalo. He had 2 players, I thought, going. Yeah, because there was 2 Monday night games.
Oh yeah.
So he did.
I forgot
who the other Monday night game was. So he had 2 players going, and I only had Diggs, and I was losing. And I was like, oh fuck, we're gonna go 0-2. Now I have
so much for that.
So like,
Stephon says, "Come on, dog, I got you."
So I'm watching the game. Diggs doing his thing. I'm like, okay. Then he starts popping. I'm like, okay,
catching TDs.
Here we go. Yeah. So he ends up finishing with almost 44.8, and I end up beating Nick by almost 20. So that was
Nick's projection was pretty close.
Yeah, so it was a good boost. It felt
good confidence boost. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now the Schultz, he got hurt. That's why I only had only like 2.
So points. Yeah, now you're good. You got Goddard.
So I do. So it kind of worked out. It kind of, because I don't know if Schultz is going to come back and beat. We don't know.
Right.
So it could work out in a blessing where I feel comfortable just dropping Schultz, and I don't care that somebody else. I don't get trade value out of it, I guess.
You're right. Yeah, definitely. I feel that. That's actually a good little feeling to have. It's good to know that you can drop someone that no one's gonna pick up.
Yeah, or if they do, it's like their clog and now their burden that they have to.
Yeah, now they have to mind screw themselves. Yeah.
Like they don't have Dak, Zeke's
I mean, Cooper Rush hasn't done that bad.
No, he hasn't, but there's no certainty in that.
True. He's unproven, obviously.
Yeah. So week 2 went well. I lucked out.
Yeah, definitely. So you're coming off a big dub in week 2. So I touched base with Eric on this, and this is part of the reason why I hate to do this to you, but it's part of the strategy for Eric. You're on this podcast episode right now, so Eric can potentially get some insight to what you're going to do with your lineup or what you're thinking moving into this week.
Right.
With this coming up matchup. So your third week matchup is against the Lord. You already are up to a 17.30 lead because Nick Chubb went fucking kind of ham yesterday. Beat my Steelers.
I got lucky. If
I was a little upset about that.
If Hunt would have scored, I'd be not sitting very pretty right now.
Yeah, Trubisky. So no Trubisky this week.
Correct.
You're playing 2 tight end. No, okay. You're playing Davis Mills against the Bears. Not a bad idea.
And okay, here.
Give me the thinking behind that.
Well, the game's already it doesn't even give them anything.
I mean, but give me the give me the thinking of why you did it. Yeah.
So Mills was projected more, but that wasn't really my Trubisky. He doesn't look like he has it, and even if he has it, he's gonna do what he did. He scored almost
207 on a rushing touchdown. If he throws one passing touchdown there, it's justifiable to keep him in.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a biased Steelers fan.
He doesn't throw these in.
I know.
He's with Trubisky.
I watched so many overthrows yesterday. Oh my gosh.
Yes. So it was like I need more. I'm not saying Mills has upside, but like
more potential, higher ceiling.
Yeah, I just needed a little bit more. So I was like, because I'm projected again to lose. That was the original projection.
You've been an underdog all 3 weeks.
Right. So
hashtag I'm Bozo Sportsbook coming at you soon. I wish.
So I'm projected to lose against Eric. I really do like Eric's team. So I'm like, okay.
Barely though. It's a 3-point spread. You're a minus 3.5 underdog.
Yeah.
Or plus, you get plus 3.5.
You're projected to lose.
Currently, with you already having 17 points, you're still a 50-50 shot, which is crazy to me.
Before we started, I was projected to win by 3, and now I am projected to lose by points.
See, I'm showing 154.49 to 151.93 was like the original projection. The live projection is 154.49 to 154.35. You lose by like point.
Correct.
6.
Correct. So I'm glad I benched him.
106.
I
mean, if Mills gets less than that 15 mark, though.
I feel okay with that, though, because I'm sick of seeing what Trubisky's doing.
What if he gets 2?
If he gets 2, then I lose. Or actually, I don't lose because Dallas is going to get 30 instead of 13.
There you go.
And Tampa's D is
Eckler's got a shot to go off this week. He's playing against Jacksonville.
He does, and I do feel good about Diggs again because I do think Tua's
that game. Everybody's projecting it to be a shootout. The over/under is like 54 or something.
So I mean, Diggs
that's like 30 to 20.
And Debo, I don't see Debo doing.
Dude, I have him in my other league, man. He's been quiet, but he has looked better with Jimmy G. So I'm liking it.
See. I don't like Myers. So
it's funny. Eric picked up Cooper Rush, but he's starting Baker. He's had Baker all year, and he hasn't played him, I don't think, at all.
I mean, it's always good
because Trey Lance got hurt.
Because he lost Trey Lance, and he just has him as IR, which means he's trying to keep him.
So he had a free spot. Yeah, he picked up. It's funny. I called that on the podcast. I said he was going to pick up Cooper Rush because he got outbid on Jimmy G.
Oh, when I watched the pod, I was like, he wants Trey Lance. I already know. Listen to him.
Or Jimmy G.
I want Rudders. He wanted Jimmy G because he had Lance. And I was like, well, you want the replacement of your efficient offense that was going. Not really with Trey Lance, but
that'll be a nice little test. I think you might actually have a little upside on your end of the matchup with Baker in New Orleans. He's new to that rivalry, and usually I was pretty big Saints guy back in the day, and I used to watch those games all the time. And Carolina would always be the thorn in Drew Brees' side, and I don't know. We'll see. It'll be cool to see Baker see that rivalry if he can kind of continue how Carolina beats the Saints normally.
I'm hoping.
Who knows?
I'm hoping I don't get the back-to-back Lions curse and have he has Swift, so I'm hoping he doesn't do what St. Brown did.
He's questionable though, dude. He's questionable.
Yeah, I think he's playing though. What is Myers playing though? I don't think Jacoby's playing, but either way,
he was limited in practice both Thursday and Friday.
Okay,
and seems extremely likely to suit up despite the questionable test.
And I had Jacobs a couple years ago, and I will never have him.
He's trying to trade him, dude. Shit, good luck.
I'm smart.
I'll give you my guy on the bench for him. Okay, tight. So you're looking good. You got a lead. Obviously, we're gonna watch how this week pans out. Obviously, I will bring it up next week on how you did because of whoever you bring on for next week. I'll touch base on your previous matchups. I know the Brady bunch has been in the playoffs in this league before. I don't recall what years off the top of my head, but what is it going to take for them to get back to the final six?
This one's pretty simple. We need Brady's wideouts to come back because the O-line's gone for the year.
Do we though? I mean,
we need him back.
He can make anybody good. I see him and Aaron Rodgers have that in common. I feel
he can make them good, but that doesn't help his fantasy score here. So, we need that to happen.
If they're catching touchdowns, it does.
That's true. And Eckler to just do just a little, like he's doing fine, but like just a little
20.
more would really put
it. Get to 20
over.
Get to your projections.
Yeah. So,
I mean, 11 and 18. Like, come on, get to 20.
And if one of these rookie wideouts pop off, then it's almost. I feel like I'll be very comfortable then.
See, I feel like, and that's what it. I feel like I've been lucky, not lucky, but just like I drafted the right people. But like, you need young rookies that people don't think are going to be good to be good. Like everybody thought Jamar Chase was going to be so bad because in training camp, like. He dropped everything.
He couldn't catch a ball.
I got him in like the 7th round or 5th round or something because nobody wanted him. Like, okay, I took maybe at the time, I took a gamble, but it was like
you have to win.
He's a really good wideout. Like, whatever, let's take a gamble, and it obviously paid off. Obviously, but like you need that. I feel like every team needs some young guy that
you need the juice.
Yeah,
it's like what Eric's saying. He like tried something new this year. So did I always just pick stable players, and stable players get you into the playoffs and then make you lose the playoffs. And
because they're all sitting
every year. That's what I do. So I was like, I'm mixing it up this year. So we went a little young. The double tight end obviously was not intended.
The old auto pick. Oops.
And I feel like my running backs are solid. If Chubb stays healthy, which he should.
And you got Pollard in case Zeke gets hurt too. Exactly. Like that's not a bad handcuff at all.
That was huge. I really wanted Pollard. There was a few other players I'm not gonna obviously say because I might want to trade for them.
Ooh,
that I really
hot soup here
for the draft. Robinson was one of them. Burks was one of them. So I got 2 out of the 4.
Okay. Can't be mad about that.
No.
So not too open to trades, really? You don't need to make any moves to get into the playoffs? You just kind of need your players to step it up, or what?
I wouldn't mind making some moves.
See, that's the thing. Nobody's really too saucy in this league with trades, really. I feel like we got a couple. There's like 4 people that are like good at making trades, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I made trades with Cuddy. Sorry, I always like making trades with him. Those are pretty fair, but a lot of people in this like kind of want too much for.
I agree.
What they're giving or like it helps both of us. Let's go. Who cares if it helps one a little more? Let's do the trade. Let's go.
No, why can't it help me a little more? It's got to help you a little more.
Yeah, so let me give you a player that's now 2 tiers higher, and now it's just unfortunately it's the other way. Yeah,
right.
But I will say that does kind of happen because we have so many. How many bench spots do we have? 5. 5 and 2 IRs.
So 7, really, if you want.
So just less people out there.
Yeah. Speaking of trades and being open to trades, I definitely didn't touch base. I touched base with Eric a little bit on this, but I want to get your thoughts on the only trade that's gone down this year. It's the old easy neighbor Al / Duncan trade. It happens every year. So Easy gave up Tua and scary Terry McLaurin and got Aaron Rodgers and Jarvis Landry in the trade, which we all let it go through. It's obviously a fair trade between the two.
Yeah, which we should.
The funny part about the whole thing is, this is the real funny thing. Let me get into this real quick.
All right, go ahead.
So EZ drafted Jarvis Landry.
Correct.
He then proceeded to drop Jarvis Landry because he probably needed to get somebody else, or he didn't like him, or whatever it was. Duncan picks him up. Whatever. He's the guy. Fill in, good wideout on the. He's still. Where is he on the Browns still? Bench guy. You know, you maybe got to fill someone in. I don't even know what team plays for anymore. Maybe I think it's the Browns still. Very funny. Then this trade goes down. Easy gets him back in a trade. Oh, well, Easy must really like this guy. I don't know why. Whatever it is. Maybe it was just a fill in to try to get Aaron Rodgers because he loves Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? I don't know. The weird part about it is Jarvis Landry's in the free agency right now, I believe.
Facts.
Easy already dropped him again.
Facts.
Weird. I don't know. I just don't know the thinking behind it, and I'm sure I will ask him about it when he's on. But, like, give me – I mean, you saw the trade. How'd you feel about it?
I did. I didn't – it's weird because there's two big names in here. I guess three big – if you consider
I mean,
a big
he's
name,
a middle of the tier.
Like Landry's an old big name. You usually get people to bite on names, and Aaron Rodgers is a big name, and he looks like garbage. So Duncan did everything right to try to off these things. And also, if you're a believer, Jarvis Landry can do his thing, and Rodgers isn't as shitty as he was in week 1 or 2. Was it trade after week 2? Either way.
So it was the 17th. It processed on the 17th of September, which was last Saturday. So each team had the new guys potentially to be on their team unless they played on Thursday. So that Sunday last week, week 2, I think each team could have played both of their guys. I know that Duncan could have played Tua, but he didn't because he's got Mahomes and Herbert, and he lost by 30. And Tua got basically the same amount of points combined as both of them.
True.
I mean, you can't predict that, but
I mean, in the beginning, I was like, okay, and then it just so happens Tua and Scary Terry kind of find it. We'll see if that's a thing.
My thinking, why did Duncan do it if he had those two already?
Who knows?
You know, that's I want to know his thinking on that when he gets on here, because that was my thinking. Well, I was like, why would? Well, I guess because he had Aaron Rodgers on the bench then, I guess maybe, and he's maybe trying to upgrade his wide. That's maybe was his thinking, was he was trying to upgrade his wideouts.
Might as well build depth in there, and Landry
with because he's got a third quarterback who's Aaron Rodgers, who's top 5 in the league. So why not get rid? You know, so like
Duncan's just
I had to do a little bit of thinking on what each person was kind of thinking.
Duncan's a wizard. He probably gave Easy a couple totes too, some strong ass joints they saw.
And then he said, "Come over here."
Dipped in hash, rolled in this, flipped in that. Probably had
dipped around in this.
But either way, I honestly don't feel like we should be voting against any trades anyway. So if it went through, it went through. And we'll see how the year folds.
That's how, I mean, I kind of feel the same way. I feel like if somebody is gullible enough to accept a trade they shouldn't, then it's on them. But also, I guess the whole like
if there's collusion
stacking teams thing, yeah. But like,
who wants to play in a league with collusion?
It wouldn't. I don't think it would happen. They wouldn't. I don't think anything.
I don't either. Yeah. But that's the whole thing. If it's you think somebody is,
but if you give them the chance to, they will potentially could. Maybe I don't know, because we don't really give them the chance to. So
we'll see. Either way, where are they even at? Is Duncan on top still?
No, he's 0-2. That's what I mean. He made that trade and sat Tua, and he went 0-2. I mean, it's hard to start Tua over Pat Mahomes and Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
like I had Tua on like Duncan. Obviously, no stabs here when you're going to listen to this because I had Tua on my bench in my other two leagues. Also had Herbert starting over him on both.
I don't have the
and
balls.
Yes, I
to
lost
start
in one,
Tua
and yes, I won
either
in
one of them. I don't have the balls.
No, not at all. That takes wizard like raid in Mortal Kombat shit to do that.
He already is a wizard listener. I think what he say.
That's what I mean.
Podcast and this and that.
I hope he listens.
My man's dedicated. I love it. I wish I could feel a little more dedicated, but we're here.
Yes, we are. And that takes us right to the next segment of the podcast here. So this is, I think, what takes the most thinking into the segments of the podcast is we're going to go straight to your top 6 that are going to make the playoffs in no particular order. Obviously, if you want to put them in order, you can. Doesn't matter.
No, not this year. This year is going to be fun because it is all the teams seem very competitive, and the running backs this year aren't doing what they usually do over the past 10, 20 years. So the teams, if you have the elite wideouts right now, you're crushing it because all the running backs, whether elite or not, are kind of all scoring the same. So if you have the elite wideouts, you're winning right now. We'll see how long that lasts.
True.
So it's fun. So this was hard for me. The top 6 was hard.
It's always hard. Especially when you guys are on early. You were on late.
Yeah, I was on late last year. Very true.
Very late. You were like one of the last regular season ones we did.
Yeah. So who does put at the you? Because you beat me.
Oh, all right.
Got throw you in there. And your team is good. You have running. Your wideouts are.
I think I have the strongest wideouts in the league. I hate to say it, but I just think I do because that's it. I have. Yeah.
Then
whatever third one I plug in, he'll be fine.
Exactly. Myself, obviously. I feel like I still did have a pretty good draft.
Oh yeah.
From doing the little fuckery in the middle, but all right. So. So whatever, we're there. And I put Ryan in as well, even though Ryan was more on like he's trying to build this, which is pretty cool watching what he's trying to do with the IR spots, the running backs that are hurt.
Yeah.
Like, they all come to fruition. Like he should be.
At the end of the season, he's going to have a tough decision if he keeps them all, though.
Yeah. So Ryan will be there. Duncan, I just think, is always there. Like I said, he's the wizard, but he'll figure it out.
Yep.
And then Corey, because I just love his confidence. He's talking so much shit. He better fucking make it. So Corey's in there. Corey's in there. Yeah. So, and he has stupid sacks. I think he had 2 stacks on his team, maybe. I know he had one good. What's his name again? Tiger
King, I think.
Tiger King. Yeah, he is Wilson and Sutton. If they just figure it out, that's lights
He's got
out.
Burrow too.
Burrow with Mixon going on the same team.
So Russell Wilson, that guy can't see anymore. Did you see that meme of Russell Wilson? There was a funny ass meme out of Russell Wilson this last week, and he was like dropping back to throw a pass. He was like on the 7-yard line, and he was like dropping back to throw a pass, and like I think it was his running back like did a little like curl right in the middle of the defense where the middle linebacker should be. And like both linebackers were like, whew, and they went this way and he was wide open sitting in the middle of the end zone. And Russell Wilson's just looking like this over at his guy over the left side. And they were like, the meme was like, oh, this guy gets traded to Denver and he loses his eyesight. Dude, it was a touchdown all day. All day.
And he not been the same since that finger injury, his surgery shit.
Right.
It's not been the same. And then 6th, this one was really hard for me because it was, it's Blake. Because I actually wrote Blake and Ryan, and guess what? I already said Ryan, so it's Blake.
Blake, look at that. Couple of guys that have been in the running in years past, but not so much recently.
Yeah, so
I like it. But
like I said, this was these bottom, like it's so congested. Does this play actually?
Plus, it's really early.
Yeah, it is really early.
So it's hard when you guys are doing this. Like, that's what's cool is about the whole thing. I get to pick my week when I do it.
That's right.
Well, actually, I guess I don't. When someone picks me to do it, like, it's my turn to go, I guess. So.
True.
Tight.
That's
tight. We got The old top sixer. All right, tight. So now this is the fan favorite and the league favorite segment of the podcast. We're going to go down the old Bookie Boulevard. For those of you that are watching / listening, doing whatever you're doing, we are in the great state of Michigan. It is legal to bet on sports in this state. So, of course, we implemented a hashtag I'm with Bozo lock of the week last year, and we've continued it to this year. So, C-Raj, looking at the money lines and the spreads, give me your hashtag I'm with Bozo lock of the week.
I'm taking Tennessee over the Raiders with the spread.
Which is?
2.
Tennessee -2. You heard it here first. Also, I always forget to say this, but it is open to NCAA or NFL.
Oh yeah,
because all football matters. I know all football matters.
I didn't take the red pill like Duncan did last year and just circle it. I'm gonna comment. I still don't gamble, bro.
I feel you. That's okay. That is okay.
Shot in the dark. That's my shot in the dark.
Oh, it's funny you say shot in the dark because Survivor's back yesterday. Yeah, 2 days ago, Wednesday.
In the beginning, I've been watching that.
Hey,
yeah, that's it. I remember we used to be sitting on the couch making like when we lived together, making art. Dude, that was our thing. White Rice Wednesday.
We're eating rice and drinking wine.
So fun.
It was the best. Man, yeah, back to the days when we lived together. That was fun, man.
Yeah, no,
that was a fun time in life.
It was good.
Fun time in life. I wonder what Dexter and Jax are doing. I know Jax is still with Natalie, I think, and then Dexter, I think, went to David's sister, right?
Yeah. Oh, Dave.
Or right. Have you talked to him recently? Nice little topic of changing conversation.
I
haven't seen or heard of him in years.
Same, unfortunately. But
yeah, he was always a good dude. He was a great dude.
Yeah, never talk bad about him, but
no, not at all. He always looked out for everyone. Had everybody's best interest in mind, for sure.
He's just Dave. He's Dave.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Hey, I'm Dave.
Hey, I'm Dave. So, okay, moving forward to the bottom feeders, the bottom 3. I'm sorry, Eric. I know when you listen to this, you didn't give me the bottom 3 because I actually deleted it out of the thing on accident. And thank you, C-Rod, for bringing it up to me in the pregame today. The bottom feeders, we got to get the bottom 3. So I'm going to do a little jump in the DeLorean here, do a little backtrack, and we're going to take you back to last week when I did this with Igor. He was gracious enough to give me his bottom feeders this year as text message. So, dun, 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 drum roll please. We're in the tent. Look at the circus ball. Da, da, da. The trapeze artists are up there. Igor's bottom 3 feeders are number 1, the electric Eric Ely. Number 2 is Balake Smith. And last bottom feeder is none other than Mr. Cash Register Machine himself, Easy Money in the Bank. Wow. This guy's going hard. Igor going hard.
Yeah.
Not sure if I had Easy in my top 6, he said, though.
3 different people.
Let's see.
It's going to be fun. It's fun.
Nope. Eric, confirming you did not have Easy in your top 6, so you're okay to put him in your bottom 3. So now, C-Raj, let's move into your bottom feeder.
All right. We are going with recuperated.
KG in the kitchen, cooking up that broccoli.
And Cuddy Sark, as much as I love that, man, he out.
Ooh.
His team's crusty.
Ooh, the old crusty crab.
Crusty crab. And McCaffrey Americans is, who is that?
Mike?
That is Mike. I know Igor
Mike M.
But I don't see it. I just don't see how he gets there. But if he does, obviously props to him.
Props to everyone, yep. It's early still, so we will maybe be circling back on these at the end of the regular season. It all depends on how the episodes play out and whatnot. I was So at the end of last year, I had to do a couple filler episodes. So I was like not super gung-ho about being super early this year, but I was a little late on getting everything started. But we're catching back up here at the Circus 10. We're running around chasing bozos and elephants and trapeze artists and whatnot. And we're getting everything back on track. So we got everything we needed out of the bottom feeders and the top 6. Now I need to get to next week's guest, ladies and gentlemen. Time for C-Raj to put somebody in my hot seat. C-Raj, what are we thinking? Give me the background of why you're thinking what you're thinking too. Obviously, if you listened to last week, you heard Eric put you on because he wanted to get a little bit of insight of your matchup. Don't think we shed too much light on your matchup, but a little bit.
We kept the door closed. Yeah.
We kept it. Yeah, we kept it.
So my mindset, it's either Duncan or Ely. I don't know.
I mean, you got to pick. That's why you're on the hot seat.
Yeah, I know I'm on the hot seat. You said you wanted the background. This is where I was at.
Okay.
It's these two. And I think Ely's at the bottom. And I think he needs to come out here and shed some light. He has his own podcast. He'll spruce it up. I want to
get him in here early and often.
Yeah, I need to hear this, man. I need to hear this.
Okay.
And my reason of why I wanted Duncan is because I love his insight on, like I said, he's the wizard. I love to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, it would be good to get him on earlier than later to get some insight of being
it was like him and I towards the end, so I was like,
I feel that.
But I'm not going for the leg up or the inside scoop. I just want some entertainment. So throw this man
the
on
electric one is the one. Nice. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Electric Eric Ely, get your tights or jumpsuit or whatever you got ready because you're coming to the circus tent next week, baby, and you're sitting in my hot seat and you're getting drilled with questions. C-Raj, it's been a blast. I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to come down, sit with me in the tent, hang out, talk about your team, get ready for the season that's going to be. I'm very excited. It's obviously the biggest buy-in we've ever had, biggest pot we've ever had. Should be very exciting. I guess it's funny. I should have talked about this prior, but like, give me a little bit of your thoughts on Brett leaving and Ely coming in. I guess I should have brought that up with the draft stuff.
I love Brett. I know Brett as you know, as long as I've known you. So I love Brett. So it was sad to see that he was no longer in the league, but I feel like this is a league and we're getting into money that you need to kind of be the person.
Yeah. The whole bringing someone in to do it, like you're wasting like $300.
It's cool to have,
even though he did win it once when Ely did it for him.
That is true.
I think that is where that league or that season right there, I think is where Brett screwed up ultimately forever, was not letting Ely run his team the next year.
Oh, well, hands down, that was obviously downfall, but I mean, if we talk to him right now, he'd be proven right because Ely's 0-2 and 12. So, I mean, it's all perspective.
Well, but he's not being able to work with the same. He had a different roster 3 years ago. If Ely was able to make some changes with his roster 3 years ago, we could be talking about Ely being a multi-year champion potentially.
We could.
We could.
Now he gets the opportunity to do it himself. So I am excited.
Yes, he does.
I am excited about that. But it is sad to see Brett go.
I agree.
Obviously, he's not. No, I don't think anybody here is leaving. So it's not like he can just pop back in if he got time or wanted to be more dedicated. So it did kind of suck, but I know Ely will be in it to win it and make it a little more competitive. And if we're putting this much time and effort and money in, it needs to be as competitive as we can make it.
I agree 100%. Sounds good. Well, C-Raj, little send-off message here for the boys. Anything else you got to say?
I'm out, boys. Good luck this season. Good luck, Igor. You're going to lose.
Ooh.
And I'll see you at the top, G.
Let's go. We'll see you guys next time on hashtag I'm with Bozo. Stop recording.